We are in this together.
You have gifts that I don't have, and I have gifts that you don't have.
That we must see. Now is the time, because it's when we all get together that we will make the changes that we must make. We are the world.
Welcome to Malcolm and We, brought to you exclusively on malcolmpresents.com, a streaming platform heard around the world and beyond. When I say beyond, I always go and beyond, because I don't know what beyond is. Anyway, this is Malcolm Berman, and my co-host is Yana Larson, and our guest today is Dave Finnigan of Green Actioneer Family Action Group. Right in the back. Anyway, Yana, I'll let you take over because you know our guest. I don't.
Yes, our guest today is Dave Finnigan with the Green Actioneers. And the Green Actioneers Family Action Guide offers families 100 actionable ways towards saving energy, water, and money, and making a significant contribution to creating a clean and green future. The aim is to provide a complimentary download of the book to 40 million families in North America with children in elementary or middle school through partnerships with national and state PTA and homeschool associations. Families are responsible for 72% of the carbon in the atmosphere, making their focus on families a critical component of the mission. They believe that by inspiring and motivating families, they can create a better future for our planet. To introduce the program to PTA moms, they have produced a 2-minute video and conducted a 3-minute interview with Jack Canfield, and his endorsement will be featured in the first edition of the book. For those of you wondering who Jack Canfield is, he is the originator and co-creator of the New York Times #1 best-selling book series, Chicken Soup for the Soul. So this is certainly a very prestigious recommendation. Dave will be attending several conferences across the country, including San Francisco Climate Week, California PTA Convention, Content Entrepreneurs in Columbus, Ohio, and Engage for Good in Minneapolis. Welcome, and thanks for including us on your PR tour. We are lucky to have you here today.
Well, I'm really happy to be here because my major mission now is to get people to understand that I'm not selling a book. I'm starting a movement. And so I'd like to talk about the book, but only in terms of the movement, because when we go into a school, every family that comes to family night gets a free digital copy of the book. They can buy a print copy if they want, in which case the school makes a little money. But our major goal is to get the book into people's hands so that they can put up on the wall in the school a chart. And the chart tells everybody what the kids have been doing. In fact, what the families have been doing. Because on that chart is Post-it notes. And every time a family does anything that's in the book, they get to put a Post-it note up on the chart. So Excellent. That's like the Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts merit badge sash. And every day, Bobby's going to go out there and look at it and go, Mom, Susie's got 6 up there and we only have 5. Get the book. And then they're going to get to work and do another thing.
Spurring competition.
Yeah, exactly. That's how people make decisions. They always make decisions based on competition, based on comparison. Let's put it that way. And people make their decisions that way. So that we want them to understand that if they put up more Post-it notes, they're going to get more pats on the back. So we set up 3 levels of achievement. One is a sprout. If you put up 5 Post-it notes, you're a sprout. If you put up 10, you're a seedling. And if you put up 20, you're a mighty oak. And if you're a mighty oak, then we'll buy a tree for you that'll be planted somewhere in the world. And you'll have a tree growing in your name.
Do you publish these results on your website, or is there a way of people checking to see what other people are doing?
Yeah, well, that's the next step, is to get this all digitized. There's a website, but the website is pretty primitive by the terms of what we need. And so one of the reasons that I'm on this tour going around is to try to get some support for building the website, which is the web equivalent of what we're doing in the real world. In the real world, I'm going school to school, or I'm getting my PTA contacts to go to the school, take the book in, show it to the principal, show it to the teachers, get everybody excited about the book, and then hold family night. And family night is like Scholastic Books book fair, but there's only one book. So at family night, all the families come in, and the kids have already seen the book, because the person who is going from classroom to classroom, we call that person Professor Green, by the way.
Very
Professor
good.
Green has Professor Green has gone from classroom to classroom and showed the book to the kids. And what's in the book, you can go to any page, and what you'll see is it's in English and Spanish. It's got a game or a puzzle based on the English above. It's got a coloring book feature for the little guys, and it's got a quote from somebody famous that your high school kids could figure out who is that person and what else have they possibly said. And most importantly, it's got these two little characters, can do and can't do. And can do and can't do are in every drawing. So it's like, where's Waldo? And can do and can't do are from Muga. And Muga is make our universe green again. And they've come to Earth to see if we're going to make it or not. And at the end, they meet the Native Americans, and they find out, yes, we're going to make it, because the Native Americans give us the guidance that we need in order to be not just sustainable, but regenerative.
Is that book your concept?
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. No, I've put 10 years and a lot of work into this. This is me here, Dave Finnigan, and my artist is Jim Haynes.
And I'm sure it's copywritten.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Have you, well, I don't know, is Scholastica still a big part of the educational system?
Scholastic Books is out 2 or 3 times in every school in the country. They're a force to be reckoned with. But they're talking about 100 different books or 1,000 different books. They bring so many books into the school. We want this to be a one-purpose evening. We're only there for one thing, and that is to talk about Green Actioneers.
No, I'm meaning if you have approached them to see if there's some way that you could, interface.
When I first started the idea of the book, I went to them and I said, I'm doing a book that it helps elementary school children to understand climate change. And they said, oh no, we don't believe in climate change. Well, that was because the president of Scholastic at the time, who was the founder, did not believe in climate change. Well, he has since passed away, but I haven't been back to them to talk again, because I'm on a different path. I don't want this to be one book among 1,000. I want this to be the sole reason that we hold family night. It's a Green Actioneers family night. And what we're doing is becoming a Green Actioneer school. And we're going to put the chart up in the hallway. And then from then on, every time a kid wants to put a Post-it note up on the chart, they just post it up there. And that's just like scouting. In scouting, how do you know you're a scout? Well, you get the uniform. Well, how do you know you're a Green Actioneer? You put a Post-it note up on the chart in the hallway. Then you're a Green Actioneer. And from then on, you just keep putting up Post-it notes every time your family does anything that's in the book. In fact, things that aren't in the book, if you come up with a good one.
Yeah, I can see a Green Actioneer T-shirt.
Oh, absolutely.
Where you can pin medals on it, or do as a Boy Scouts merit badges.
Yeah, and because we are Green Actioneers, what we would do is go to the thrift store and buy a whole bunch of T-shirts that would otherwise get tossed away, and we will issue those to the kids. In other words, that's happened school by school. So the school goes to their local thrift store, or they get somebody to contribute 100% cotton, American-made T-shirts that would otherwise end up in the dump, because we don't want to be part of the problem. We want to be part of the solution. But yeah, sure, that's a good idea.
Yeah. How long has the Green Actioneer been in existence?
It's new. It's brand new. All I've done is I've done 3 pilot schools in Florida, But it's time for me to spread my wings, and that's why I'm in California, and that's why I'm also going to all these other conferences, because I want to make sure that we get some people to start this program who are really going to put 100% into it. And the problem with the Florida schools is that they didn't put the chart on the wall, or they didn't, they held their family night in conjunction with STEM night or scholastic books or something. So everything got watered down. I need a school that really goes, we want to be the #1 green school. Now, there are green schools. There are hundreds of U.S. Green Building Council. But what I want to do is go beyond the schoolhouse door. And the problem with the green schools is that they're only the school, the building of the school. What I want to do is go beyond the schoolhouse door and get out into the community and have a green community with a green school at the center.
Yeah, well, you have to get the families involved. As I did, my brief period of teaching, you have to get the families involved with the kids.
Right. Yeah.
And
yeah, well, when I used to do a program, I went to schools with a program called Juggling for Success. And I taught everybody how to juggle with nylon scarves. I printed a little book, self-published, The Joy of Juggling, in 1976. And then I wrote and printed The Complete Juggler, which is everything you ever needed to know about how to be the world's greatest juggler. Well, before the internet existed, just by going around to schools and teaching juggling, I sold over 1 million copies of those books.
Wow.
So if I sold 1 million copies of a silly little juggling book, just think what we could do with a really important book and with the internet to help.
Yeah, the big thing now with the internet. Do you have a internet site that people could go to?
Oh yeah, people can go to greenactioneers.com. And I'm busily loading interviews like this onto my YouTube site. And those are the things that are going to begin to move this forward. But hopefully, once we get rolling, the schools that start will also put up video of what they've done and get testimonials from teachers and parents and kids about how much fun it's been and how effective it's been. Our family night at school is a lot of fun because what I do is because the kids have seen the book, and now they come with their parents to family night, and the kids and parents sit down with a book, and then Professor Green, that's me, says, okay, how about you? What are you going to do? And the kid raises their hand. They say, we're going to recycle. Okay, everybody who can recycle, jump up and shout, we can do that too. Well, all the kids jump up. Okay, good. And what are you going to do? We're going to take the bus instead of driving our car. We can do that too. After a while, the room is just jumping. The parents start jumping up. You say, we're going to eat less meat and more vegetables. We can do that too. And so the kids, like, we're going to take shorter showers. Everybody jumps up. We can do that too.
We can take no showers.
Yeah, that's a good one. So the kids love family night. And then I say, okay, now grown-ups only. If you want to be on the green team for the school, raise your hand. And about, half the grown-ups will raise their hand. Great. If your hand is in the air, stand up. Great. If you're standing, come to the front of the room. Now, in the front of the room, put your arms around each other's shoulders. Take a bow. Principal, take a picture. This is your green team. So in one day, we go from nobody in my school knows about going green to all the kids know about it. The teachers know about it. The parents know about it. And we have a green team. And the green team is in charge of the chart on the wall. So the green team's job is to make sure that chart goes up and make sure that the kids start putting their Post-it notes up there.
I'd love to get Malcolm and we involved on that. As far as I'd say, we work with I don't know if you know We the World.
Yeah, love to.
Which is a group that helps people like you on a national basis. So when we're off the air, contact Jana, and we'll see if we could do something with Malcolm and we, or even putting you on your own website here.
Well, that'd be wonderful.
You could do a weekly show where you could be the interviewer of the school people, the principals and teachers.
Sure, I'd love to do
more important, the students.
Yeah. Yeah, and the parents.
and the parents. Well,
Yeah, we want.
you got to get the students involved, the kids
Yeah,
involved, because the kids will come home and bug their parents.
that's the whole
Yeah.
way this works. You see,
It's mommy, mommy, daddy, daddy, let's do this. I want to. And you convince
right,
the kids, and the parents say, no, I'm busy working, I'm busy. Yeah, but this is more important.
absolutely. See, here's something that I know because of my life experience, and that is that trickle down doesn't work unless you add bubble up. And so that's what I'm doing, is adding bubble up. So now we're going to have individual families and schools and small communities talking to the national level, where they're all going to Doha, of all places, to the COP28, to talk about solving the climate crisis without any relationship to the people. Well, we got to get the people involved. So my job is to get the people involved.
Excellent. Yeah. Again, it's and through the kids.
Yeah. Oh, totally. It's all a family thing. Yeah. Kids bugging parents. We're using the two most powerful forces in the universe: the love of parents for their children that diminishes over time, and the incredible nagging power of children. Those are the two forces that we're harnessing to run this program.
How many families, or how many schools do you have involved so far?
Well, just those three in Florida.
Three.
And they're not doing the whole program. That's why I'm on the lookout for schools that want to do the whole program. The problem in Florida is that the principals are afraid that some dad is going to come in and say, do you know you're talking about climate change, and we don't believe in climate change? That climate change is not real. It was invented by the Chinese and promoted by Al Gore, and we're not going to stand for it. So principals are scared to death in Florida, but I'm going to find that's why I'm in Florida. I'm in California right now, because I'm going to find.
We're in California doing this. I'm in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'm going down to Ontario to the PTA convention, to the state PTA convention, and then I'll be going to a convention in Ohio and a convention in Minneapolis. And in each one of those, I'm going to be putting pieces of the puzzle together so that we put this thing in motion nationwide, starting this fall. This fall is the launch. Yeah. And I'm looking for schools that might want to be involved in the launch. And I'll help them as much as they need help to get it done. I'll even go visit their school and spend 2 or 3 days and get them started if they need it, because we really need.
Yeah. Is there any cost for this, or how do you get the?
No. There's no cost.
Who supports you?
Me.
You.
Yeah, I've put $100,000 into it so far. As far as I'm concerned, it's not important to make money. It's important to make a difference, and so that's what I'm doing.
True. Except if you're married and have a family.
Well, I am married and I do have a family, but luckily I'm doing okay.
Fantastic.
Because I sold 1 million copies of these books.
Oh yeah,
and I sold my juggling equipment company. I had a company that made scarves and balls and rings and clubs and devil sticks and diablos and spinning plates and books and videos, and I sold that company.
Are you a nonprofit?
Yes, we're a nonprofit.
And you're incorporated?
Both, yeah. We're an LLC and a nonprofit. So if people want to make a contribution, they can make a contribution to Green Actioneers. But on the other hand, if they want to buy books, they're buying them from the for-profit.
Okay. And the Green Actioneer, how do they contribute? Let's say they want to contribute to your group.
Just go to the website, greenactioneers.com, or get in touch with Dave Finnigan at greenactioneers.com. DAVEFINNIGAN at greenactioneers.com, and just get in touch with me. And I'd be very happy to talk to people about how we're going to do this. It's time. We've been messing around too long trying to.
Yeah, well, the problem is I'm just worried whether it's too late. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, we're at the point of no return. That's what I'm worried about.
Well, I will never stop trying, and I'll never stop being optimistic.
Yay, I agree.
No, I'm optimistic, but I'm more towards the pragmatic. I see things, the things that are changing, with people denying we're not talking about the cause of the weather change, but there is a weather change. There is a climate change, and I think that's undeniable. I think they even admit to that in Florida. But the problem is, would you say that you have the three Florida schools? The problem in Florida schools is that they're in Florida, not being political.
Well, the problem that I faced was that none of the schools would allow me to video anything or take pictures of anything. So we don't really have a record. And so whoever comes on next, the proviso is I will come to you and work with you, but we need a record of this. We cannot be doing this in the dark. We have to be proud of what we've done, and then we have to broadcast it. So that's the next step, is to make sure that whoever really is the first school allows us to video and is proud of it, and will talk about it on social media, and will proudly claim to be the place where it started.
Yeah, that's because I mean, basically, as you know, undoubtedly know when you're teaching, is that we're doing this not necessarily for us, but
Right.
for those kids,
Right.
and your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, because we're trying to, to leave a planet to them.
Yeah, this is all for the next generation. This is all to give us a legacy that we can pass on and say, look, we know we had a rough patch, but we straightened it out. And I'm not going to talk about, in fact, the book doesn't mention climate change, global warming, or sea level rise. The book is about going green. And if anybody wants to talk about those other topics, they can, but that's not what the book is about. The book is about saving energy, saving water, saving money, and having a clean, green future.
Yeah. Well, actually, saving money probably would be the big thing for the parents.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I do a lot of my political shows, as you say, if you going around MalcolmPresents.com, it's more, a lot of it is based on politics, and I mean the bottom line is when you speak to people, it's okay. Is it going to cost me more?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean people are want to be fossil free, but they don't want to pay more for gas.
Well, that's good. That's good. They shouldn't pay anything for gas. I buy no gas. I don't drive a gasoline powered vehicle. I have solar panels on the roof of my house. The government helped me buy those. They cut my electric bill by 90%, and I have an electric car. And so I don't pay for gasoline. I haven't paid for gasoline in 10 years. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anybody should. Mm-hmm. But they've got to go step by step into it. And there's a lot of things in the book that are free or easy to do that anybody can do immediately. They don't need to buy anything or learn anything. All they have to do is make a little lifestyle change. For instance, just opening randomly to a page. If you haven't yet changed out your light bulbs, you're losing money, because the light bulbs that you should be replacing your existing light bulbs with cost about the same now. They were more expensive before, cost about the same now, and they last for 30 years. I don't mean the squiggly ones. I mean the LED bulbs, and they'll last 30 years. So make the change. What's stopping you? And they only use about 1/10 the electricity of an incandescent bulb. So that's an easy one. There's a lot of no-brainers in the book. And the kids will get to put up Post-it notes in the school every time their parents take one of those steps.
Yeah, that would be a good advice if you
starting young. That's the way.
I haven't read your book, but to have a no-brainer portion. It's a no-brainer.
No, it's scattered. You see, I didn't say, okay, here's all the expensive stuff up front, and then here's the cheap stuff at the back. Instead, it's scattered. You go through the book and you get one called Declutter Your Home. Well, that doesn't cost you anything. And then bring your lunch from home, because the lunch at school uses plastic cutlery, and it's on a foam tray. So bring your lunch from home, and use the water at school. Don't bring a bottle of water. Take public transportation. That doesn't cost you a thing. Saves you money. You don't have to buy a car. And so it's just step by step. You can get an energy audit for free, and then you're going to save money after they tell you what you need to do. But you know, everybody doesn't have to buy an electric car and put solar panels on the roof, but eventually you will. Everybody will, because eventually we must, because we've got to get rid of fossil fuels, and that's something that we just have to do. And so we got to work on that. Now, that's not part of the book. The book isn't get rid of fossil fuels. Yeah. It doesn't take a radical stand on anything. It's only talking about how kids and parents can work together to go green and have a clean green future. Now, what if dad is a hunter? There'll be more game to shoot. What if he's a fisherman? Oh, he'll be able to eat his catch. What if if he works outside under the sun? There are going to be more trees, more canopy. What if he's a farmer? If he's a farmer, his soil will be clean. So even those people who would normally be in opposition to these ideas will come around when they realize that it's in their own self-interest.
Well, it's it's that old thing, show me the money. If they could save money,
yeah,
they'll do it.
Yeah. First you get a free book. And then you save money.
Right.
What's wrong with that formula?
Yeah. What can you lose?
Yeah. So we'll see.
Give us where. By the way, is your book available on Amazon?
Not yet. I have one more thing that I have to put into it, and then it'll be available probably in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, because to me, I mean, right now, to me, I'm not that we're not sponsored by Amazon, but Amazon is amazing because you call up, by the time you hang up the phone, the doorbell rings and the package is there. It almost seems that way.
We will definitely start commercial distribution of the book, but I didn't want the book to be seen as just another book for kids about the climate. What I want it to be seen as is the touchstone, the pebble in the pond to start a movement that's like scouting. So I say Green Actioneers is scouting for the 21st century. And so you own a Boy Scouts handbook or a Girl Scouts handbook, but that's not scouting. Scouting is what you do with your friends. And the same thing is true with Green Actioneers Family Action Guide. Yes, you own the book, but the book is only a way for you to get into the program. The program is what really counts.
As a matter of fact, I see, I love that with the Green Actioneer. I almost see kids in uniforms like the Boy Scouts, with green uniforms that they earn merit badges.
Yeah, well, they've got to make them. They got to make them themselves out of fabric that would normally be going into the trash, because that's part of recycling. We're not going to have something that you buy in the store that's a Green Actioneers outfit.
Well, that's what we had on one of our shows. I think it was The Many Shades of Green. It's about a company who gets the used clothing and they recycle it.
Well, I'll get in touch with them and they can make our uniform.
Yeah, it's many Shades of Green I have with Margot, with Maxine and Margot Rubin.
Okay, well, I'll get right in touch with them.
You take a look at, because there's also a group that, when people manufacture clothing, they have a lot of the trimmings left over. These people go and pick up the trimmings, so it's not wasted.
Well, one way or another, we've got to make these in an environmentally sound way. So I got nothing against uniforms, as long as the uniforms aren't extractive, as long as they're helping the planet.
Right. No, everything's helping the planet as much as because we really need it. Again, all you have to do is read the newspaper, what's happening.
Yeah.
And every day, as the LA Times are talking about how the summer is going to be brutal. And worldwide, it's the highest temperature that's ever been, and the highest, warmest year.
Right.
And it's supposed to be warm this year. And it's not only the U.S.
No, it's everywhere.
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
It's worldwide, with forest fires, with the heat, with flooding, with hurricanes. So we need you. Dave, we need you. We need the green actioneer. Anyway,
We need
tell us
green
once again how to contact you because we're at the end of the show.
Okay, greenactioneers.com, Dave Finnigan at greenactioneers.com. And I'd love to hear from you, especially if you want your school to be first.
I thank you very much for joining us, and I say, get together with Yana and let's see, what we could do with, Malcolm and we to help you guys out, because I think you have a very worthwhile project.
Thanks a lot.
And We the World too. We'd love to have you as a partner.
And thank you for joining us, and look forward to see what your progress is. Anyway,
Great.
This is Malcolm, and we heard on malcolmpresents.com. Stay tuned for next week for another exciting show. Bye.
Bye-bye.
The objective of the organization We the World is to facilitate cooperation on a global scale amongst groups and individuals dedicated to implementing solutions to the many challenges we face on the planet at this time.